With age comes wisdom, experience, and a whole lot of unexpected changes. Welcome to Dad Brain, where two best friends share their journeys through the ups and downs of their 30s. Get ready for the raw and honest realities of growing older. Here are your hosts, Matt K. and Matt L.
Welcome back, friends, to another episode of Dad Brain. Today, we're taking a step back. We've done quite a few interviews. We're back to just Matt and I for today. We're gonna hash out a little state of the pod for you, keep you updated on what we've got going on, direction we're going with this thing. We've got some crazy current events in Matt's life, some things. You know, he's in the experimental phase with his child, so we've got some fun stuff that he's been doing with that we're going to talk about, and then we're just going to we're going to hash it out over like what's been going on. So, Matt, do you want to kick us off with a little of the juicy state of the pod update that you've got for us?
Yeah, the juicy state of the pod update that I meticulously put together. So the state of the pod, if you are an active listener in Dad Brain, you know that just 7 short weeks ago, we had our baby girl, and some of our production has not been to the volume that we had at before I had the baby because, you know, dad stuff. So basically, the state of the pod is that we are continuing to record on a daily basis. We have great interviews coming up, and I'm really trying to find creative ways to put more time on my schedule to create Dad Brain content. I think a lot of our content is going to have a lot more eyeballs on it with some of these things that we have kind of bubbling up, which I'm really excited for. And that's because of consistent listeners and viewers like you who are listening to it right now. Speaking of that, because we are going to be syndicating out a lot more content, I just want to remind everybody, if you are not following us on the social media platforms, please, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, at DadBrainPod. Make sure that whenever we post content, you're leaving a comment, a like. It helps so much. So that's my ask as we continue to update the content of the pod and start to provide more to the Dad Brain listening audience.
You as a viewer might be asking yourself, Matt K., why have you not stepped in? You don't have a kid yet. Why aren't you taking over these roles that your co-host can't get to because he's got a mouth to feed now? I'm lazy. I don't know what I'm doing. It's better just left to him, guys. You will ruin the pod if I start taking the reins over, okay?
Yeah. I don't think the pod will be ruined, but I mean, when it comes to producing a podcast, it's a lot of effort and time, right? So it's one of those things where, you know, there's a new podcast popping up every single day. And that's why I just encourage people that listen to podcasts to really engage with those creators, because there is so much behind the scenes.
There's a lot of technical work.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose you could just record it with your phone facing you like it's a vlog, but there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of cutting. There's a lot of editing. There's a lot of brains that go into it. There's reason people do this professionally. So bear with us. We are going to still be putting out all the social media content. It may not be coming at you as quick, but the quality will actually be better because we're not going to invest any time into something that's not going to be a banger, okay? We don't have the free time anymore.
That's right.
That's fucking Dad Brain right there.
It really is.
Bullshit goes out the window.
But even with, like, you know, we've been dialed back on the social media a little bit since the Maisie has arrived, we're still delivering constant episodes. And I think we're delivering some of the best content that we have had, right? Interviews with dads or people who are close to daddom or suffering from dad brain, which is the whole entire brand of the podcast. So this person right now who's in their car driving to work listening to this, thank you so much. The person that is watching a clip on YouTube and decided to subscribe to us, thank you so much. We're going to continue doing this thing because it has been a lot of time, but it's also been extremely enjoyable being able to carve this time away and talk to my, you know, one of my best buddies here.
One thing I want to have you guys check out our TikTok page. Matt L over here took his daughter to her first concert, a country concert, a Dierks Bentley concert. I know, garbage. Get her into some good music early on. But instead, he went with Dierks Bentley. I think that is the worst part of it. Like, forget that you took her to a concert. Who gives a shit? You put headphones on her. She's fine. But you had to take her to a trash concert. We're gonna call CPS on you for anything, it's because of your taste in music.
I will not take the Dierks Bentley slander here on the Dad Brain podcast. Dierks Bentley, let me tell you a little story about Dierks Bentley. So the year's 2017, and this is when I am just starting to date my wife along with multiple other women at that exact same time. And I go to a little concert that's in Michigan by the name of Faster Horses. And basically I go on a 3-day bender. And at the end of that 3-day bender, who closes out the third night? Dierks Bentley. One of the best live performers, really engages with the crowd. He was shotgunning beers on stage yesterday. And Matt, he's got 20 years worth of hits. He just released his 10th album, Gravel and Gold. Absolutely bangers on there. It was a great show. So no Dierks Bentley slander.
To be honest, with the haircut you showed up with today, I'm not surprised you're a Dierks Bentley fan. I mean, you're some Arlie Ermy wannabe, fucking redneck looking Florida man with the high and tight. What happened with that, by the way? I mean,
so we're shifting from the concert to my haircut. I'm not done talking about the concert yet.
Well, I'm just saying,
first off,
you
my
look
haircut,
like the kind of guy I would find at a country concert.
I like to switch up my look, Matt. Like I like to do something. I like to do something drastic, basically, like once a year. Like last year around this time, I shaved my whole entire head bald, and it's my headshot at work, and I hate it. So I'm gonna request a new headshot at work so I can kind of see the evolution. Like I like looking in the mirror and seeing just a little bit of a different person.
I do like that part about you. To be honest, I think since we started doing this, I haven't seen you wear the same shirt twice on air.
That's right. No, absolutely not.
I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there.
Yeah. So going back to the concert discussion, I mentioned on last week's episode that we were going about this extremely strategic. So we didn't show up to the concert right when gates open. We basically rolled into the concert. We didn't even have to pay for parking. That's how late we were. And I wore the front-facing baby apparatus here in the front. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of gimmick. Yeah. So I wore that, and we got backpack. Yeah, and got some new headphones for Maisie. And we were right when the concert started, like when Dierks went on, we were there. And let me just say, you get a lot of looks when you are bringing an infant into an outdoor concert.
But to be fair, that's even if you weren't bringing the infant, that's really the way to do it. Like every concert I've gone to, you get there early, you pregame, then by the time the headliner comes on, you're a little bit buzzed, you're tired, you just want to go the fuck home, and then you're stuck in an hour and a half long car line to get out of there. Like the way to do a concert is get there right before the headliner comes on. Get up there, have a pop, listen to them, because that's what you're paying for anyways. You're paying for the headline. You're not paying for
you would think
whatever bullshit banjo comes on before.
Because we rolled in at that time, right when the concert started, we got the baby, and people are obviously looking at us, and then we just happened to be sitting behind the worst people that we could have been sitting behind.
Oh, like throwing beer and stuff?
No, bro. Like, do you guys want us to take your picture? Oh my God, she's so cute. Like nudging me on the back. Right. You can obviously tell that this is a big deal for us to be out of the house. We want to enjoy this. And we had pretty decent seats. So
we're not here for the photos. We're here for the concert.
We let her take 3 pictures of us. They all come out shitty because concert lighting, I mean, it's dark. Yeah. Like, you're not going to get a great photo. Literally, Matt, the third song comes on, and she's like, do you guys want me to take your picture? And at this point, my wife's starting to get annoyed. Like, no, lady, fuck off. Yeah. So she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucked up. And we're like, no, really? No. You really? We had no idea. But what you were just speaking to, where it's like you show up to the concert at, say, doors are 7, right? You're drinking, you're spending $60, $70, $80 on alcohol to get to the headliner. And there was a lot of people that after 5 songs were like, I'm fucking done, dude. It was humid as fuck outside, bugs, I mean, it's a hairy situation, but I will say that our daughter like was great during the whole entire thing. She had her earmuffs on, which I tested out. They worked great. And she slept for one half of the concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And a lot of people will kind of come up to you. We had like kind of both sides of it. Some people were like basically saying like, hey, how young is she? Thank you for doing this. Like, this is really encouraging. And then some people will just give you like the dirtiest look that you've ever seen.
Squares.
That's what I'm saying. So this is all to say I've posted a video on our TikTok page. So check that video out and let us know what side of the debate you are on.
Now, dads, that being said, you got to pick the concert right. Don't get in the mosh pit with your newborn. Don't head to whatever concert where they're just blowing giant clouds of dro and shit like that. I know I sound like a square, but if they're smoking a bunch of weed in the concert, like you and I have been to a couple concerts where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face because the clouds were so thick. Yeah. That is not the concert to take your newborn to. We're not suggesting that.
Absolutely.
If you want to go to some pussy ass Dierks Bentley concert, that's probably a good concert for your newborn.
You get one more.
We should have a counter going.
Not on my boy Dierks. But one of the biggest lessons that we learned, Matt, for those parents that are thinking about doing this, stick to an indoor concert.
Yeah.
Because
go to sports.
I would definitely stay indoors because the hard thing about having a baby is you don't know like how hot they actually are, right? Like they have really like no way other than crying to really express like I'm uncomfortable. And our baby didn't do that at all because she slept a majority of the time. But it would have been nice to kind of like have that security to be able to like go inside, right? We didn't have that luxury. And that's why I was, only outside for an hour.
This also leads up to a conversation. Like I remember back in the day, like being at a bar and seeing a couple with a baby at the bar and be like, what kind of loser takes their baby to the bar? Like whatever. But you get it now. Like you got to get out there. And it's not as long as you're not getting drunk and driving the baby home, go hang out with your friends at the bar. We've had multiple guests on here where they bring their kid to the bar all the time, and it's so rewarding for everybody.
Yeah.
Plus, then you're not staying to the bar too late. Like after 8 o'clock, you're like, all right, time to go. You're not closing the bar down anymore.
Right. If you're a responsible adult raising a child doing everything right, then there's no reason that you cannot continue to do the things that you are used to doing, right?
Yeah, get out of the house, go do stuff.
Have to, man. I'm telling you. And, it's encouraging as a dad now to see you kind of like already have those wheels turning. Like, I want to continue to live my life once, my child's here. Because I think a reason a lot of people are on both sides of the issue is because maybe they're just kind of scared of that unknown, right? Like what could happen if I take my infant to a concert, right?
Then you leave the concert if there's a problem, right?
Exactly.
Like you just go.
And we did.
Just like if you get the stomach flu at a concert, what do? You leave. It's not that big a deal.
I will say one thing though about the concert, like you still need to be strategic even with the exit plan, right? Because like you were saying with like the parking, you don't want to get jammed up trying to get out of there. And we did it the right way. It was a great experience. I encourage other people to do it. That was the Dierks Bentley concert.
Well, I'm gonna leave your boy Dierks alone for a minute. I'm not gonna say anything, but glad you went. See, and again, it's not all Disney on Ice once you become a parent. And in fact, this early on in the child's life, don't go to Disney on Ice. The kid doesn't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go do the stuff you want to do because when that baby's a year, you are not getting away with that. It's got to be Disney on Ice. It's got to be Frozen. It's got to be the zoo. Like all this other stuff that you might not be interested in, you have to go because they've never seen it before. So right now, for the next 10 months, get it in.
What was the transportation looking like when you were growing up?
Minivan and, whatever cars we could afford.
You had the minivan.
Hand-me-down stuff,
The minivan, I wish it would make a resurgence.
The coolest thing, and then my dad bought a Chevy Blazer. It was like a 97, 96.
Nice.
Because we got a boat. That was cool.
Oh, to pull the boat.
I was older.
Right. But I think what's wrong with this country, I think where the ship got steered a little off course, is when the family vehicle went from the minivan to the SUV. Okay?
My wife and I just bought a SUV, a large SUV, planning for the baby.
You bought an SUV?
Yes.
What'd you get?
We got an
What-
Audi Q7.
An Audi Q7. I'll go
It's
ahead.
a used one, but it's a good car. But I'm not opposed to a minivan. Like if we have more than one, I mean, I can definitely see getting a minivan. They're cool. I've got friends who have them, and they've got the TVs in them, and you can play like games on the TV while you're driving. And whenever we go to the bar as a group of friends without kids, I'm like, Melissa, you have the minivan. Drive us there, because on the way back, I'm going to be wasted, and I'm going to play tic-tac-toe on the screen, okay? Or I'm going to watch SpongeBob.
And give me my snacks.
Yeah, give me my snackies. Make sure you got goldfish ready to go, okay?
I had 2 minivans growing up. Like, my first car was a minivan.
I remember that. You had the Pontiac.
Oh, no, that wasn't the first minivan. I had another minivan previous to that that caught on fire in my driveway
Holy shit.
on Valentine's Day.
Well, you weren't getting any anyway, so.
For sure. I actually went to go pick up my Valentine's date, and as I was pulling into my house to close the deal, my car caught on fire.
Yeah.
And if I would have,
Yeah, that
if
was
I would
closing
have,
the deal.
if I would have pulled my car into the garage because it was attached to the house, I would have burned my parents' house down to the ground.
It's like that from Family Guy. And then she said there was no way.
Yeah, she was done.
I was
after
totally
that.
going to bone her.
Yeah, dried right up. The Audi Q7, that's not a bad, MSRP of 59. That's,
You're looking at way old.
way old, so it's more expensive now.
Yeah, but we got a used one, so.
It's 2024, boy. Welcome back to Stepping on the Gas with Matt K and Matt L. It's your Audi podcast here. Speaking of appreciating in value, my mom rolls down here, right? And she says she's got a big surprise for me. And she breaks out all of my savings bonds from when I was younger.
Fuck yeah.
Bro, did you get savings bonds? Like, that used to be the go-to gift, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, have you cashed those in? What are you
Some
saving
for
them?
college and stuff like that.
For college and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my mom rolls in with face value around $400 worth of savings bonds. Okay? Not bad. So, I'm thinking like, oh, it's, probably around $500 or $600.
No. I mean, how old are they? If they're
Some
face
of them
value
were
400?
Well, one was like 2006. Another one was like 2001. One of them still hasn't like fully matured.
Yeah.
Like, the savings bond has to be the worst gift ever. You put a $200 looking thing inside a birthday card. You give it to me, and then I can't even actually get $200 until 20 years from now.
But now it's the best gift ever, right?
It's really not.
Really?
Because my grand total for all of my savings bonds, insert drum roll noise, $433.
What?
Bro, they gave $33 in interest in anywhere
That's
from
ridiculous.
right. Like, is that even worth it at that point? I
No,
could
there's
invest.
no way, because mine appreciated way more than that. The ones that I used for college.
Well, I don't know what happened with mine, but I thought it was my ticket out. This is completely switching gears, but since we were talking about state of the pod at the beginning or whatever, you guys are moving right along on your journey, right? I mean, your wife is past the half-baked stage.
Did the whole photograph. I didn't eat any of the ice cream.
Still don't believe it. But like, what are kind of those next big milestones? Is there a baby shower on the horizon? Are you going to share a registry link with your buddy here anytime this year? I can put it in the show notes.
I will as soon as I figure out how to do that.
Copy and paste is a son of a bitch.
Yeah, you know me. I don't know what I'm doing with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon. That's all I know.
Right.
We're having a baby shower, which, God, I shouldn't say this because she's going to watch. I have mixed feelings about baby showers and wedding showers and stuff like that because, they cost money to put on, right?
They do.
And the whole idea is you put on a shower to get gifts that if you didn't put on the shower, you'd have had the money just to buy all that shit anyways. right?
Correct. I had this exact same dilemma.
So it's kind like, and to me, one, I'm not really going to be at the baby shower. I'm going to be doing something else until I'm told to carry heavy objects or writing the check. So it's like, I don't see the point of it. Same thing, like they're trying to push us into like doing the diaper party thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't do one of those.
I would rather just go up north with my buddies or go do something with my buddies, and
Yeah.
I don't really need to make a whole thing about it. Sean had his at my house. It was a lot of fun. We played poker, got drunk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Played video games. It was a great time. But it also, if I've got to do all the work to plan it, I ain't fucking doing it either. I'd rather just go, do what I want to do on any given Saturday instead of organizing a party at my house.
Right. I think if you go into the baby shower, Matt, not expecting to first recoup your investment, right? Even with the monetary value of the things that you're going to receive. And just going into it with the mindset, like, this isn't actually for me, right?
But my thing is, like, I'm forcing people to come and love on my soon-to-be-born baby, right?
Right.
By feeding them and wine and dining them.
Yeah. It's like a wedding.
You know what? No. Once the baby's born, if you want to hang out, reach out to me. I'll come to you. You come to me. We'll go get breakfast. I'll bring the baby out. That's be in my baby's life.
Yeah.
Don't be there just for the shower. And then 20 years from now, when I'm going over his, showing his new girlfriend, pictures of when he was born, and be like, oh, these are all the people that are dead that were at his shower, or the people that we've never seen since the shower.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that's how it goes, right?
I mean, I feel like you're looking at it through the lens of a wedding, right? Because a lot of what you're describing could also be tied to the context of a wedding.
But I think it's the same thing. That's where my whole distaste for all this has started. I loved my wedding. I love my wife. I love the wedding shower. Loved her bridal shower.
Right.
But from a pragmatic standpoint, from a glass half empty standpoint,
Yeah.
which, as you know, I like to gear towards that, it's kind of senseless.
Yeah. So with all that being said, the baby shower is happening.
Yeah. I mean, and she posed it as, this is where we're going to be. You can go do whatever you want all day, but at this time, you have to be here to grab gifts. I was like, okay.
I would also still be there, Matt, for the opening of the gifts.
We'll see.
I mean,
I don't think I'm invited, Matt. I don't think I'm actually invited for all that. I think I'm just there to grab the gifts.
Okay.
Literally, I'm pretty sure I'm being kept at arm's distance because I have an attitude problem.
All right. Well, on that note, Matt K is human garbage for tormenting his pregnant wife with all these empty containers. But I know if you've made it this far in the podcast, you are not human garbage. So thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Thank you. Download Sunday. We got a great one coming out.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Dad Brain. New episodes come out every Sunday. Don't miss any. Subscribe today wherever you listen to podcasts. While you are there, help spread the word about Dad Brain by leaving a rating and review. Can't get enough Dad Brain? Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Dad Brain Pod.